other choice but to be strong. Now, they still see me have my highs and lows, because there's a lot of it. All I can do is just try to move forward.
Y'all, the drama surrounding DJ Twitch's tragic death just took a shocking turn. His wife is coming forward with jaw-dropping claims, accusing Diddy and Ellen of being involved in her husband's untimely passing. And get this, she says they've been trying to silence her ever since. The twists and turns in this story are absolutely wild. And if what she's saying is true, it's about to blow the lid off of Hollywood's darkest secrets. Buckle up, because this one is crazy. According to new claims, DJ Twitch, known for his bubbly personality and radiant smile, may have been hiding some dark secrets tied to Diddy and Ellen DeGeneres. Word on the street is that Twitch was allegedly involved in Diddy's infamous off parties. Even more shocking, his wife, Allison Holker, is rumored to have known about it and allegedly accepted hush money to keep quiet. According to Hollywood insiders, Ellen was reportedly a regular at these gatherings for years. And y'all, if you've seen some of the clips from her interviews with Diddy, it's hard not to connect the dots. During one infamous exchange, she seemed to catch herself after implying she knew way more about Diddy's after parties than she should. The way she joked with him about it on air, let's just say it didn't go unnoticed.
Your feet are gonna have blisters. You're gonna be dancing so hard.
I can't wait.
But it gets worse. Rumors have been swirling that Ellen might have even tried pressuring Twitch into attending these exclusive, highly suspect parties. And when he declined, well, apparently, that's the kind of rejection that doesn't sit well with folks in those circles. Some insiders even suggest that turning down an offer like that could be dangerous, especially if you know too much about what goes down behind closed doors. But wait, it gets even messier. People have been digging up Ellen's old tweets, and let's just say she's not coming across as innocent as she'd like to seem. Back in 2016, Ellen gave Diddy a shout out on his birthday, listing all his names: P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean Combs. But here's the kicker. She added, Cuddle McSnuggle stuff, followed by, you don't need to know why. Y'all, what does that even mean? Fans are side-eyeing that tweet hard now, especially in light of the serious allegations Diddy is currently facing. Here's where things get really wild. With Diddy's charges alleging he coerced individuals into inappropriate situations, some are speculating that Twitch, who was super close to Ellen, may have been caught in something way beyond his control. Could Diddy have roped Twitch into situations he didn't want to be part of? And with Ellen's alleged involvement in these offs, it's hard not to wonder just how deep her role runs in all this. And as if all that wasn't enough, a recent viral video showed Ellen visibly uncomfortable when asked about Diddy's ongoing accusations. In the clip, she avoids the question entirely, jumps into her car, and speeds off without a word. The way she dodged that moment has fans speculating about how much she really knows. Could Ellen have had a hand in introducing Twitch to the very world he might have been trying to escape from?
Ellen, were you surprised by the allegations about P. Diddy? Did that surprise you about P. Diddy? He's been on your show many times. Have you been to his parties?
Now, here's where things take an even darker turn. Ellen DeGeneres, whose name is already tangled in these rumors, has a past that raises serious questions. Long before her fallout with Twitch, Ellen faced accusations of mistreating her employees, controlling her wife, and being a complete control freak. Y'all, imagine being in an environment where her famous "Be Kind" motto was allegedly nothing more than a front. According to a BuzzFeed News report, one former employee didn't hold back, saying, "That be kind bullshit only happens when the cameras are on. It's all for show." And doesn't that sound eerily similar to the vibe of those infamous off parties? Everything had to look exclusive and fun on the surface, but behind closed doors, chaos reigned. The parallels between the rumors of Diddy's manipulation and Ellen's alleged behavior are just too glaring to ignore. But it gets worse. Sources have said that Ellen's staff was instructed not to speak to her if they crossed paths in the building. Doesn't that sound like the same untouchable, power-driven attitude tied to the elite circles we've been talking about? One former black staffer who tried standing up for herself allegedly faced dismissive, performative response.
She was furious.
What did she say? What did she say?
She just really was on a rant. Because I had mentioned on your show that, I wish that women would support each other more, in particular super, super influential women. There's so few female comics over 50 that are making a living or doing okay. Like, we need to support each other. I expressed that to her, and she was like, I don't have to have anybody on my show I don't like, and I don't want. I said, I know.
And the tea doesn't stop there. One former employee who was dealing with a traumatic car accident and had to take time off for a funeral said they were gaslit upon returning to work. They were made to feel like they were crazy for prioritizing their health and family. That same protect the image at all costs vibe echoes the allegations surrounding Diddy's efforts to manipulate situations and maintain control of his narrative.
Whatever will America do without Ellen DeGeneres, the same woman accused of bullying staff on the set of her former show and creating a toxic environment, and the same woman who laughed about killing Trump.
The whispers of Ellen's controlling nature don't just stop at the workplace. Y'all, there are even murmurs that her ex-girlfriend Anne Heche's tragic accident wasn't purely coincidental. Just weeks before, Anne revealed that Ellen had allegedly tried to have her institutionalized to silence her. She even hinted that Ellen's obsession with fame and money was a driving force behind their breakup. Anne's death, coupled with these new allegations surrounding Twitch, has people connecting the dots. Was Ellen using her power and influence to cover up secrets? And could Twitch have been another in her alleged scheme to keep certain truths from coming to light? Here's where things get even murkier. Reports reveal that Twitch checked into a motel just 15 minutes from the home he shared with his wife and kids before his passing. He didn't take his car, something totally out of character for him. When Allison noticed he wasn't answering her calls, she filed a missing persons report. Tragically, Twitch was later found in the motel, with officials ruling his death as a self-inflicted gunshot wound. But here's the kicker. Initial reports claimed there was no note left behind. However, after pressure from the media, authorities backtracked and admitted there was a note. This sudden flip-flop raised eyebrows, with many speculating that someone was trying to tamper with the narrative. Now, let's delve into one of the most chilling parts of this story, what some are calling the blackmail angle. Twitch's wife, Allison, has always shared how he was a devoted father and husband, full of life and excitement. But the tragic story unfolding now paints a much darker picture. A man who may have been trapped in Hollywood's most sinister secrets.
I don't really have any other choice but to be strong. Now, they still see me have my highs and lows, because there's a lot of it. All I can do is just try to move forward.
Rumors suggest Twitch was recorded at one of Diddy's infamous parties, without his consent. If you know anything about these parties, they're not just gatherings. They're alleged hotspots for secret cameras that capture everything. And Twitch wasn't just some willing participant, he was reportedly caught in the crossfire. According to whispers in the industry, once he hinted at exposing what he saw, the threats started rolling in. It's alleged that when Twitch even so much as thought about going public with what he knew, he faced relentless pressure to keep quiet. And honestly, it's not hard to believe. Twitch wasn't the type to get involved in scandals. He was a family man with a reputation for keeping his life clean. But that could have been his downfall. He wanted out, and they weren't ready to let him walk away. Allison reportedly believes that those who held footage of Twitch at these parties may have had a direct hand in pushing him to the edge, or worse. Was this why Twitch's life ended so tragically? It's hard not to question who might have been pulling the strings behind the scenes. And speaking of Allison, her actions after Twitch's death have only added fuel to the fire. Within months of his tragic passing, she filed court petitions to claim half of Twitch's estate along with his future royalties. She even sold their family home for $3.8 million and upgraded to a larger property worth $5 million. These financial moves, paired with the suspicious timing of his death, have sparked endless speculation. Was she working alongside Ellen and Diddy to silence her husband, only to reap the benefits of his legacy?
I got 13 years with one of the most magical humans.
While these allegations swirl, Allison has been portraying a different side of herself publicly. She's expressed deep sorrow over Twitch's passing, sharing that she's staying strong for their children. The youngest, who doesn't fully understand the loss, frequently asks about their dad, making her grief even more visible to the public. Despite the controversy, she's focused on turning her pain into a mission of purpose. Allison has partnered with the National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI, to raise awareness about mental health and to create open spaces for conversations around these often taboo topics. She's spoken openly about wanting to honor Twitch's legacy by helping others avoid similar tragedies.
What I would really love is to bring awareness to mental health, open up the conversations, but to hopefully help people to feel comfortable asking.
Interestingly, one of the most prominent figures offering Allison support, at least publicly, is Ellen. She's shown solidarity, though many wonder if this is an attempt to repair her tarnished image or to keep certain truths buried. With Ellen's involvement in Diddy's world under heavy scrutiny, some have questioned the authenticity of her friendship with Allison during this time. As Allison moves forward with her life, the unanswered questions about Twitch's death continue to loom. His fans still wonder if more could have been done to save him, while his family remains in mourning. And with Allison's actions, both financial and public-facing, many are left to wonder if she's genuinely trying to preserve his legacy or if she's playing a much darker role in a Hollywood conspiracy that's bigger than anyone could have imagined. Now, here's the cherry on top. Ellen recently announced that she's planning to relocate to England, claiming that it's because of Donald Trump's election win. But let's be real, y'all, the timing is way too convenient. Rumor has it she's trying to escape the heat of all the Diddy controversies because she can feel the walls caving in around her. Is this a strategic move to avoid any further scrutiny, or is it just a coincidence? Either way, it's definitely raising some eyebrows.
Look, in some shocking and sad news for the 74 million Americans who voted for Donald Trump, former talk show host Ellen DeGeneres and wife Portia de Rossi have fled the US and moved to the UK in the wake of the result, telling friends that the election of Donald Trump was their primary motivation, that they've settled into Cotswolds, a rural town in south central England.
The connections, the cryptic tweets, the dodged questions, it's all adding up to something way bigger than we realized. As these allegations continue to swirl, Diddy, Ellen, and Allison are all facing intense public scrutiny. Diddy's legal troubles have already placed him under the microscope, and now Ellen's reputation is being dragged through the mud once again. Meanwhile, Allison's financial moves are being dissected by critics who question her motives. With so many unsettling details coming to light, it begs the question, could Twitch's tragic death have been the result of something far darker than anyone initially imagined? Was Allison's role purely that of a grieving widow, or is there more to her actions than meets the eye? And how deep do Ellen and Diddy's connections truly run in this tangled web of alleged deceit and control? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and while you're at it, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more updates on this developing story. And you definitely won't want to miss our next video, where we uncover Oprah's alleged ties to Diddy's trafficking ring. It's a story you need to see to believe.
But I haven't spoken directly because I don't know what to say.
I may not be the first one to say it. Definitely not going to be the last. But the whole Diddy situation, right? Y'all realize that this is just like the first of thousands. Anyone realize that Ellen DeGeneres has been real quiet lately?
I just wanted to say the past 11 days have been really tough for everyone. But to honor Twitch, I think the best thing that we can do is to laugh.
Y'all, if this is true, Hollywood has turned out to be a sick and sad place. The rumor mill is buzzing with some wild claims about how Ellen DeGeneres potentially set up her close friend Twitch. Allegations suggest it all revolved around footage of Ellen allegedly attending Diddy's infamous gatherings. Now, we're not talking about just the casual appearances. Ellen reportedly had a front row seat at these parties. The plot even thickens more when you consider what else might have been going on behind closed doors. If Ellen was rubbing elbows at these events, who knows what she would have witnessed? There's even talk of a supposed affair between Diddy and Twitch, adding fuel to the fire. It's hard to ignore this pattern that seems to be emerging here. Why do so many individuals in Diddy's inner circle meet similar ends? With Twitch's sudden passing, there's a lot of speculation that he may have possessed knowledge about Ellen and Diddy's activities, leading to his unfortunate fate. Y'all, there's a crazy, tangled Hollywood web that needs to be unraveled. So let's break this down.
They checked around Twitch and Allison's home looking for any clues. The 911 call from the motel had come in just shortly after Allison had contacted the cops.
Ellen DeGeneres is the latest person to be tied to Diddy's mess, and it looks like her case might be the messiest and most damaging one yet. Diddy and Ellen have had a long relationship that traces back many years, but it goes beyond friendship alone, because new reports are that she has allegedly been a frequent face at Diddy's parties, including his alleged freak-offs. If y'all have been paying attention, then you probably noticed that Ellen once slipped up when she was talking to Diddy on her show, and she admitted that she had been present at some of Diddy's freakiest and shadiest parties. You know, the type of parties that you certainly don't want the police to know about, and the ones that the streets have been whispering on.
So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that? Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
Well, Ellen played it off with a laugh, and even though we didn't know much at the time, we know now that there was more to their friendship, much more to it than met the eye. And if that wasn't suspicious enough, there's the fact that Ellen had been acting sus over Diddy being arrested. There's this viral paparazzi footage that's been making its rounds on social media, and y'all, when I tell you that Ellen was moving weird as F, the paparazzi caught Ellen off guard and they went in. They grilled her about those rumors swirling around Diddy, and let me tell you, she looks rattled. People were scratching their heads wondering why Ellen went into panic mode at the mere mention of Diddy's name. The reporter played it hard. He straight up asked Ellen if she was surprised by the allegations against Diddy and that the feds raided him, and Ellen went into panic mode.
Ellen, were you surprised by the allegations about P. Diddy? Did that surprise you about P. Diddy? He's been on your show many times. Have you been to his parties?
But according to reports, Ellen was a constant face at Diddy's parties, not just the ones that anybody would admit to, if you catch my drift. In an interview, Diddy made a joke about a secret party that happened after hours, and Ellen immediately hopped on to the joke.
Think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party, though.
No,
it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, you know, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
And then it will carry on there.
Yeah. Then no, I mean the after party.
No, I know about them. I'll listen to the music. I've heard that song, After Party.
Now, if there was one thing y'all should know about fans, is that there is a lot of wannabe FBI agents out here, including me. And fans have been doing a lot of deep digging into Diddy and Ellen's friendship. And listen, when I tell y'all that they are digging out some seriously juicy stuff, let me tell you, the tea is piping. But one thing that they dug out here was that there were a lot of similarities between Diddy and Ellen, like how they were proven to not be exactly the great people they pretend to be in public. I mean, sure, Ellen isn't facing any federal charges like Diddy, but she was accused and also labeled as one of the meanest women in Hollywood. Like Diddy, Ellen had a long list of accusations against her, like being mean to her wife and her co-workers on The Ellen Show. She has also been hit with some damaging allegations over the years, from reports of mistreating her staff to whispers about her controlling behaviors towards Portia. It's been crazy. It all started with some shady rumors going viral about how she was cruel to people that worked for her on The Ellen Show, and former staff members who were only too happy to speak up against her and expose her. And y'all, the things that they had to say did not line up with the sunny, sunshine appearance that she liked to pretend to have when the cameras were rolling. Well, things went left in 2016 when Kathy Griffin spilled some major tea about Ellen in her memoir. Though she didn't name drop Ellen, the clues were as clear as day. Short blonde hair and a reputation for being, well, less than pleasant. It didn't take a genius to connect the dots. Their feud traces all the way back to 2007 when Ellen threw some shade at Kathy in her monologue, leaving a bitter taste in Kathy's mouth. As fellow comedians, Kathy expected some solidarity, not snark. Well, speaking about her experience, Kathy said, "I'm apparently not her cup of tea, but I think she's great. I am not a comedy snob. I'm vulgar, but I think it's great that there's clean comedians and prop comedians and topical comedians and observational comedians. I'm just happy whenever a female, especially a female over 50, is still in the game." In another interview, she said, "I had mentioned on your show that I wish that women would support each other more, in particular, super influential women. I expressed that to her and she was like, I don't have to have anybody on my show I don't like." Well, after Kathy came forward, it was like people couldn't stop talking about Ellen and what she is really like behind the scenes. People started to side-eye her past interviews where she came off as really mean. Back in 2008, Ellen had Mariah Carey on her show, but things soon went left and Ellen, being Ellen, started digging into some juicy rumors about Mariah being pregnant. But rather than a friendly chat between celebs, it was like Ellen was interrogating Mariah.
People are saying that that you're pregnant. There's rumors.
Don't discuss that.
It got worse when Ellen handed Mariah a glass of champagne, forcing Mariah to announce her pregnancy, even though she was trying to keep it private.
Let's just toast with champagne and decide.
But they've been saying that since we. I can have some champagne. It's just fattening. So,
you can have champagne?
That's not champagne because you can.
No, it is.
Is it really?
Yeah, you want to taste it?
I can't believe you did this to me, Ellen.
What? No,
Are you trying
I'm not going to ask you if you're pregnant or
This
not.
is
I'm
peer
just going to
pressure.
say.
You see what Ellen is doing? This is peer pressure.
No. Let's toast to you not being pregnant. If you're not pregnant, then we should.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe her. Why would we toast to that? How about to the future?
You can
and for both of our futures, who knows what they hold?
Who knows? All right, go ahead.
Okay, cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
It's too early for me. I only drink it after 3 p.m.
Yeah. You're pregnant. You're pregnant. You are pregnant.
Well, the pregnancy was definitely high risk, and Mariah eventually suffered a miscarriage a couple of months later. She was forced to announce it, which was why she wanted to keep the relationship private in the first place. Mariah was very upset with Ellen's actions, and in an interview she said, "I was extremely uncomfortable with that moment is all I can say, and I really have had a hard time grappling with the aftermath. I wasn't ready to tell anyone because I had a miscarriage. I don't want to throw anyone that's already being thrown under a proverbial bus, but I didn't enjoy that moment." But apart from the stuff about her being mean, there are also more serious things like the murder of her ex-girlfriend and Haitia's mysterious death. Yeah, things were crazy. For those of you who don't know, Anne Heche was an actress who dated Ellen back in the late 90s. Their relationship caused quite a stir at the time, as they were seen as the world's first high-profile gay couple. It was a big deal back then, considering how few people in Hollywood were very out and proud. Now fast forward to a jaw-dropping moment on Anne Heche's podcast in 2021. She dropped a bombshell claiming that Ellen had tried to have her institutionalized and blacklisted in Hollywood. It's a move we've seen before in the industry, with notable figures like Britney Spears, and even Kanye West nearly faced something similar. But here's where things took a dark turn. A year after Anne spilled her truth on her podcast, she tragically passed away in a freak car accident. Initially, reports pointed fingers suggesting that she was impaired and behaving erratically. But there's a twist here. The final autopsy revealed a different story. Sure, there were some unusual substances in her system, but they didn't impair her, raising eyebrows and leaving us wondering what really went down. But then there's Twitch's case and his untimely passing. Looking back with what we know now, it seems like there was a web of lies and inconsistencies in the stories we've been fed. Recent developments have shed light on some new evidence, sparking allegations that Ellen and Diddy may have had a hand in Twitch's demise. The whispers suggest that Twitch might have been privy to some information that he shouldn't have been privy to, prompting Ellen and Diddy to allegedly silence him for good. The new evidence hints that Ellen might have been a regular attendee at Diddy's gatherings, and particularly his infamous freak-offs. And it's not exactly shocking considering the laundry list of A-listers who have been caught in the mix at Diddy's parties. But the plot thickens when it comes to Ellen. Rumor has it that there's more to her involvement, with talks circulating about some horrible tapes allegedly showing Ellen engaged in nefarious activities with escorts and that Diddy brought in. Word on the streets is that suggesting Ellen may have even attempted to involve Twitch in these shady affairs, but he reportedly wanted no part of it. Tragically, Twitch didn't realize is that declining such an offer isn't really an option if you want to still be alive. Within days of turning down Ellen's alleged proposition, Twitch met a sudden and mysterious end. Coincidence? Well, the streets don't think so. From creating cheerfully family videos to tragically ending his own life in just a matter of days, it was a devastating and bewildering turn of events. The news that DJ Twitch's passing wasn't just an unexpected, but self-inflicted with a firearm hit really hard. According to TMZ reports, he left his Los Angeles home without his car, checking into a nearby hotel for just one night. Motel staff noted nothing amiss, and Twitch seemed calm. It wasn't until Tuesday when he missed his checkout, and that concern arose. Staff discovered him in the bathroom with fatal gunshot wounds and the absence of any suspicious activity. Not even the sound of a gunshot added to the perplexity. Meanwhile, on that very day, Twitch's wife Allison Holker went to an LAPD station to report him missing. Understandably frantic, she described his sudden disappearance as highly unusual, with no word or ignored calls, and Allison's anxiety mounted, leading authorities to consider enlisting him as a critical missing person. Unfortunately, a short while after Allison went to the police, there was a 911 call for paramedics from a hotel. When paramedics arrived at the scene, they pronounced Twitch DOA. There was sadly nothing that could be done for him because he had already passed before he was even discovered. Ellen also released a statement talking about how heartbroken she was, saying, "I'm heartbroken. Twitch was pure love and light. He was my family and I loved him with all my heart. I will miss him. Please send your love and support to Allison and his beautiful children, Wesley, Maddox, and Zaya." There were indeed numerous shady circumstances surrounding Twitch's passing, including the reported note he left before his tragic end. Initially, there were multiple reports about this note, but suddenly it seemed to vanish from the media narrative, leaving people wondering and feeling suspicious. Well, speculation regarding Ellen's association with Diddy is reaching a boiling point, with some insinuating that Twitch may have been caught up in potentially serious blackmail endeavors. While there was no solid evidence directly tying Twitch to Diddy, the fact that he was firmly in Ellen's inner circle for nearly 10 years certainly raises eyebrows, and there is some really shady stuff going on. But I gotta know what y'all feel about the situation. Drop your thoughts in comments below, and then check out this next video.